Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to round 9 of Tier 3 Championship for MRC, live from Baku. We've already seen exciting and, drama-filled races in the Tier 1 and Tier 2 Championships already this week. Joining me this evening is once again my Tier 2 compadre, Gav. Good evening.
Good evening, mate. It's going to be an interesting one, as you said. Tier 1 and Tier 2, exciting races, and this is going to be another one for sure.
Yeah, certainly is. We've got titles on the line as well. We have got Jacob Jones, who has been really, really strong this season. He is within 1 point of securing the championship for Tier 3. Dumas Hornet, though, in second place, is going to be doing everything to try to take it to the title ship decider. However, we shall see how it plays out. Of course, we've got Carl Edens there in third place, trying to hold on. Only needs a point over O'Fatch to secure that third place as well. So it is all to play for in the Constructors' Championship as well. So everything to play for. A lot going on, exciting track as well, so it could be very exciting.
Yeah, it's certainly not going to be. It's not going to be dull. We said that last week in Silverstone, and it certainly wasn't. And again, it's not going to be dull here, based upon Tier 1 and Tier 2. Let's put it that way, Mark.
No, exactly right. Exactly right. We've got a few drivers leaving already. And go for it.
Going to be some interesting strategies again out there. Do quite a few of them out on the mediums, soft 50-50 split pretty much. And we've seen though with the weather that was at the tail end of the Tier 2, how it suddenly went into the inters. So again, strategy is going to play a big part of this.
It is, yes. We have made some changes as well for this tier, especially after the drama that we saw early on in the Tier 2 race, that we've decided to take a stance to give everybody a bit of a chance, give everybody a bit of helping hand, and we've decided to change the ruling slightly, where we have set the weather forecast. Normally it's set to random. It's also set to localised as well. It's a bit more accurate in compared to how the drivers are and what they would experience. So we have now changed that. It means that we're going to have a dry qualifying session and a dry race. However, not made it too easy for them. We're not going to leave it to the full, dry, bright, sunny conditions. We're going to leave it overcast. We're going to leave it dark. Means that the drivers still have a challenge of getting the heat into the tyres. We can't give them everything, can we?
Definitely not. And that's the big thing about this track, is when it starts to go that period between really blue, sunshine, and that kind of dark, overcast skies, you do notice it. And it does just make you brake a bit earlier and be a bit more careful.
It does, yeah. Well, we're riding on board with our championship leader and the man on his bid to make it the championship his this evening. Jacob Jones just about to start his fast lap. We've got a few drivers ahead of him, so hopefully they're going to be aware of where he is. I don't think we've got background sound, actually. I can't actually hear the background. Hopefully it's not a slight glitch, but hopefully everybody watching can hear myself and Gav. Let us know if we're having any problems. But here we are on board. He's got the Red Bull not moved out, and there's a bit of contact there. The Red Bull did not move out of his way. It's going to hurt his medium tyre run there for Gav. He is not going to be happy there, is he? I think we may have a slight glitch. Hopefully everybody can hear me. At least hear somebody's. And we'll be back online shortly. Right, so Jacob Jones has now passed. We've got a few drivers, as Gav mentioned earlier, on the medium tyres as Carl sets the first lap on a 1:45.0 on the medium tyres. Not a bad opening lap, actually. He said he was struggling a little bit this evening. So hopefully, fingers crossed, he'll have a good race, a good qualifying session there. Brogan on the soft tyres. Few drivers, as we say, the mixed strategies. Simba's only gone a 10th quicker, but then Brogan puts in a 1:42.0. Redcar with a 1:43.0 as well, first lap. Shows what a good lap that was from Brogan. And then we've got a Thatcher of 1:40.396. That's quick. That is fast lap from Thatch. Really proving himself that for the ranking systems that he's looking to move up next year and next season. Hopefully, we have lost Gavin. Hopefully, he will be back with us shortly. My partner in crime. A few of the times coming up on the board, Jacob Jones finished on a 1:43.6. Obviously, had a little bit of an issue, but he will be back soon. And for another run, I'm just going to stick on board. Let's have a look, see who is on a fast lap at the moment.
Hopefully you can hear me, Mark.
Oh, there you are. You're back.
So it's this internet in the Lake District, Mark. That's what it is. Clearly decided doesn't want to hear me. But no, some great times there in O'Fatch's time on those medium tyres, superb. But some really good runs so far between Nico Lack, Brogan and Fanning as well.
Yeah, exactly that. Very true. A couple of drivers need to tell you about that. We've had a few stand-ins as we're on board with Connor. We've got Fox River 8 substituting in tonight. And as Connor really hits the wall, got that all kinds of wrong. Damage to the end of the front wing. That I can see the end plate damage there. He may just box now instead of finishing his lap. Hitting the wall that hard can invalidate your lap around here, so he may end up boxing, but he seems to be going for it still. As I said, mentioned there, Fox River 8 substituting in tonight. We've got Thomas 180, Alex Edrick, Nick BT, a late stand-in. Unfortunately, the McLaren driver of mine was stuck with an update. He, unfortunately, unable to join us. Was gracious. We were ready to wait for him for a little bit, and unfortunately, was just gracious enough to say, "No, guys, give a reserve my seat," and rather constructors' points. Nick is a Tier 1 driver, so he is. While he's out there on the soft laps, he knows he can't set the lap time. He's going to start at the back. Stube Morgan is unfortunate, had a really unfortunate time. He was racing fantastically well on Monday night, the Tier 2 race, and unfortunately ended up retiring in the wet conditions. But he's here tonight as well.
I've just seen Mark Tomo 222 kind of clipped that curb in turn 15, so the sort of 90-degree left-hander just after the kind of castle section, and then probably knocks a bit of the front wing off, and then as he was coming through that fast right-hander turn 19, going into the wall there and losing his front wing, so his first run is unfortunately ending up back in the pits.
Yeah, so that runs over for him as we're on board with Fox River 8. Like I say, one of our reserve drivers. It's running on the medium tyres, of course, as they all have to at the moment. Keeps it nice and neat. These curbs are still slightly treacherous. There's some you can take, and some, such as the inside here, you can see on the inside of that corner, keeps well away from it. That can also, it's maybe a slow corner, but will send you into the wall. And now, nice early braking zone. You can clip that corner as he did very well there, straight over the middle of it. We're going to ride on board through the castle section. Very tricky. It takes 2 bites at the cherry there, but keeps it nice, neat. Second gear, gets on the gas. Third, fourth. And he's pushing through now flat out section. And then you'll come to very tricky, heavy braking down to third to get the rotation. Second even really gets the rotation there. And now we're back up as to the last braking zone of the lap. Keeps well away from the curbs, and now it's flat out through the kink. Go full left, knocks it up to 8th gear through the right, and flat out now to the line. We'll see what he does on his opening lap time. The suspense. As he puts the opening ones, a 1:42.3. Very solid opening lap from Fox River 8 as he understeers there, as he finishes his lap. But
100%.
It's tricky, isn't it? It's a long way.
You were talking there about the curbs, and those curbs kind of turn six. We obviously know the Castle Complex 8, 9, 10 can be quite tricky, and then obviously turn 15, those what I'll call the sausage curbs that aren't, but they are just deadly. And you're definitely going into the wall if you hit any of them.
Yeah, very true. We are hearing of a potential penalty further down the grid with Fatch for a collision. Now, we're not sure where that happened. We didn't see it come up. That will all be revealed after the session and all the results are finalised. I'm sitting on board with Tomo at the moment. And the Alpine, he's had a few good results recently. Wants to continue his run of form.
Yeah, so he obviously had that slight contact with the wall when these soft runs, so decided to go onto the mediums for his second run, which is sensible just for a banker lap.
Yeah, very much so. You can get a couple of laps on these, get the heat into them. And looks like kiss the wall there. Williams in the background getting out the way. Clips the inside of the curb, no dramas there. Plenty of grip on that Alpine. Tricky one for the drivers as well to get the right setup. You want the straight line speed as he clips the wall big time as the entrance to the session. That's another front wing gone there. Not having the best qualifying session so far as Tomo. He may look to get back to the pits.
I think
quite heavy damage.
In Tier 2, I think I lost about 2 front wings in the race, so the AlphaTauri spare parts department's definitely having to get more for Canada.
Only 2? Crikey, I had a few more than that. So we're starting to see drivers go on the next run. Some, by the looks of it, only opting to do 2 runs, saving a lot of the tyres for the race. Maybe predicting a couple of safety cars, or just a little bit of drama, so they're saving the tyres. So they've got plenty pairs of fresh sets. We're on board with Red Car Rambo running well in the championship at the moment. He's been pushing on. He's been having a few solid results as well himself. Going to be pushing on for McLaren to get those points up. Currently further down, coming about 6th in the championship. Want to be closing that gap on Aston Martin, about 24 points.
Yeah, the differences in the championship, especially, and as you said, those constructors' championships are going to be interesting. Obviously, Jacobs within 1 point, as you said at the start of the championship, but there's a lot of other battles going on down the table.
There is, yes. We've got Fact with that potential penalty, actually. Fanning only 3 points further back. Man, unfortunately, couldn't make it tonight. He was on the same level of points on 47. Fox River 8, stepping in tonight, was actually on 39 points. So he could actually get higher up as well. We've got Conan slightly behind with Convertible. We've got Dak Convertible. Boothie couldn't make it, was a reserve. Ollie T's moved up. Alex Edric is actually racing tonight, and Red Car Rambo all within 8 points of each other. And that midfield battle is going to really heat up towards the end. We've got obviously this week and then Canada next, as you mentioned there, Gav. It's the drivers are going to be going for it.
Oh, completely. And you couldn't get to completely different circuits from Azerbaijan, very technical, very lack of grip, not for the faint-hearted. And then you go to Canada and the Gilles Villeneuve circuit, and it's flat-out pace. And there are some technical parts at the kind of tail end of Sector 1 and 2, but you've got those 2 or 3 overtaking points, which are going to be so crucial.
Yes, you do. You're right. There are... a lot of overtaking points there. Red Car, we noticed, kissed the wall. No damage, but it will have hurt. He was 6/10 up, but that is going to hurt him all the way. He's going to be losing time all the way down to the line now. Down in 10th at the moment. See how he finishes his lap. But you're right, yes, it's Canada can be technical. It is quite tight. No, he goes up to 9th, 6/10 improvement. Potential for a cool down lap and to go again, but there's 3 laps left of the session.
Yeah, it just seemed fragile tunnel, just into turn 2, went straight on. I think just locked up slightly, but doing the good job in at the end of turn 2 and on that straight, letting everybody past.
Yeah, we've missed it. We missed on board there with Jacob Jones has now popped it into 3rd place with a stunning lap. from him on the soft tyres, going that way around with his title rival in fourth, less than just over 1/100th of a second behind him. Oh, they don't give up, these two. They've been at it all season. There's a lot of respect between the pair. We've seen it on the Discord, those who aren't unfortunately involved, but those who are, we've seen it in the Discord. Jacob's mentioned it as well in his streams. So it's been a great battle between the two. A lot of respect, and it's been good on track, and full credit to both drivers.
Yeah, no, definitely. And this is the thing, and you look at it, and on a circuit like this, where you're talking 100 seconds a lap ultimately, and the difference is 1/100th of a second, and it just shows though. And this is the thing across the whole field, whether you're 1, 2, or 3 tiers, the close battles that go between is superb.
Yeah, very true. We're on board now with Connor, currently in 7th place on a 1:42.1. He's bailed on this lap. He could be going for a quick one now. We'll see how he gets on. Is he going to keep going? He seems to be pretty flat out onto the main straight. Those camera angles were fantastic, but he's flat out now to start his fast lap.
Just watching the Carl's just went into the castle section and hit the wall on I think turn is it turn 9? I think it is, that kind of 8, 9, 10 complex.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Down in 15th currently. But it does mean he will get choice of tyres to start the race. He only needs 1 point again ahead of Fatch to secure that 3rd place in the championship. Still with 2 runs to go. I know he says he's feeling the pressure, but he knows he can do it. He knows he'll get there. He knows Canada as well. So I'm sure he'll have a solid race. Even if this one doesn't work to plan, he'll still got next week.
Exactly. Just seen the Fox River going up into 5th there, obviously on those mediums for a tier 2 driver. So 141.4.
Yeah, Fox River's retired from the session.
Yeah, he literally just set that fastest lap there to put him into 5th, and then retired. So obviously deciding he's going to do if I remember, was that Sebastian Vettel back in 2013 and maybe India or somewhere like that, where I know it was Singapore. He did 1 lap and then he just sat and went, everyone else come and get me.
Yeah, exactly that. Obviously he will move up a place if Fatch has that 5 place grid penalty, which means Nico Lack on his 140.7 in 2nd will inherit provisional pole. I think Paul's probably the better, well, I say that, the odd numbers, the better place to be. It's not the biggest run into turn 1. Actually, Nico's on his outlap now. He's going for another run. So we'll see how he gets on, the other Alpine driver.
But you're right about the... Sorry, Mark, you're right about the grid, though.
You're outside, definitely the best place to be. He keeps out the way of that inside line. It can get a little bit tight and can potentially get squeezed into the wall, and he's definitely keep out the way.
Yeah, turn 1, and then especially as you're coming into turn 2 as well, with them both being 90-degree left-handers. If you're on the outside at any point, you're going to be near the wall at some point.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. No, Nico's light was flashing. Must be pushing really hard on this lap to keep it flashing.
Yeah, I think we're in qualifying pretty much at an end now, and these are going to be the final runs.
Well, we've got a number of drivers on fast lap. We've got Brogan, who was down in 7th, is about equal with his lap time from his first run. Needs to gain about 2/10 to get ahead of Alex as Tomo, the other Alpine driver, pops it up right behind his teammate into 3rd place. Fantastic lap from him. We actually cut away from him to watch his teammate. That was a bit of a shame. Shouldn't have done that. But no, fantastic lap from him. Great lap. So we're just going to finish on board with Brogan. See how his last sector went. I'm sure he'll have the DRS wide open and coming across the line. Improves by 1/10.5. Not enough to challenge Alex. So he will stay in 8th.
Yeah,
but Connor has given in his 8th second down. Red Car Rambo is 2/10 down in the first sector. Still plenty of time to make up there, though, through the castle section and the quite fast last sector. So he's going to look to improve from 10th.
Yeah,
on board through the castle, keeps it nice and neat. very nice and tight. It's just all about staying patient. So they're not carrying too much speed, and then getting the best exit possible for this, the flat out run. So you know the corner numbers, I don't, I'll be honest.
But you're right about the castle complex. If you go into 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then going right into the end of sort of sector 2, if you overplay it or you're just too aggressive, you're just going to lose more time. It's almost, and I almost use the point of just point and squirt essentially with the accelerator and just go boom.
Yeah, exactly. Red car up 4/10 through the middle sector. Looked a very clean exit as well onto this very, very long. Driver can almost look away and do something else as he gets up into 7th place. 7/10. He gained another 3/10 on that last sector, and that was obviously gained from that little knock we saw in his previous run. So great lap from him. That centre-inspired helmet's now starting to pay dividends. It's settled in a bit.
Exactly, and I think just looking at the Discord, the OFAC, it was Joyful Hell. Apparently, there was a slight collision probably at the start of qualifying.
Right, well, she's had a good qualifying as well, down in 17th, the 146.0. Very competitive. I like to see that.
Definitely.
So there we are. Qualifying for Baku has finished. It seems to have frozen a little bit on the screen, but hopefully that won't last long. Moving forward, we've got Ofach in pole position. We'll see on that penalty. Nico Lack in second, Tomo in third. The two Alpine drivers will start first and second, lock out the front row of the grid. Championship leader Jacob Jones in fourth. Thomas Horner is second in the championship. It will start behind him in fourth place. Then we've got Fox River 8 starting on the medium tyres. The reserve driver, Becca Rambo, really happy with that lap for himself. I know he's really happy in seventh. Alex, again, reserve driver on the medium tyres in 8th. Brogan in 9th. Solid from him, but unlucky not to jump Alex there. Connor in the Red Bull in 10th. Fanning in 11th. These guys from Fanning backers will have choice of tyre. We've got Fanning, Simba in the Williams, the two Haas drivers, Winky and Stube. Fragile Tunnel in 15th. Carl in 16th. Joyful Hell in 17th. Unfortunately, she got a penalty as well, so we'll start at the back. Luke Shard, and then we have two other drivers. Sorry we didn't get down to the bottom there, but who didn't actually set lap time. I think it was Thomas 180 and Nick BT. So they're starting at the back.
Yeah, great qualifying for the two Alpine drivers, especially with if they can convert it to a decent points finish, then you're talking they're only 12 points behind Red Bull and the constructors. So a strong end to the season that they'll be looking for.
Exactly. Yeah, they're looking forward to that. They've had a bit of bad luck, I would say. They've had some solid results from the drivers, just a bit of bad luck. All racing well, but yeah, 39 points, and so they'll be hoping to jump up quite significantly.
So this is going to be an interesting race. We've obviously it's the whole thing of Jacob Jones and Thomas Horner being near each other on track, and we know both of them will go for it. It's going to be one. Is it a race? If it was you or I, would it be a for Jacob just collect the points, or do you go all out and try and get another victory?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? You've got to play the percentages. So we've got a lot of drivers further down the order. Luke Shard and Nick BT are starting on the soft tyres, and then the rest outside the top 10 all starting on the medium. So they're looking to go a bit longer in this race to start with and see where they go with that. So we're going to look at the position changes when we get going and see how that goes. So Ofach dropped down to 6th place in the end after, unfortunately, his collision. Connor's left the session. Hopefully that's just a slight little glitch and he'll be back with us very shortly. I don't know if he'll hopefully need another invitation or if you've got him on there too.
I'll keep an eye out.
No problem.
There's a good mix of tyre strategy in there in terms of top 10. Pretty much the majority of the bottom 10 going on to the medium. Luke Chard and Nick BT starting on the soft, so they'll be looking to make inroads in the first couple of laps. Those soft tyres do what, maybe 6 to 8 laps.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, I think they do about 5 laps. I think you're right. What we're going to see as well, of course, the reserve drivers do get a post-race penalty to try to make it a bit fairer for those drivers in the championship to get as many points as possible. So it'll still be interesting to see, as you rightly say, where Luke Shard, where Nick BT, Thomas 180 again, all these guys who have come in, and Fox River, where they will go. Of course, they know very well that there is a championship battle at hand. So even Fox River there in 5th behind the top 2 contenders won't be wanting to get involved too much, as Jacob's almost pushing Tomo along now towards the end of the lap. But Alpine drivers Tomo and Nico will not care one jot. This is for them. This is their race. They've got to do it. It's not their championship. Unfortunately for them, they're not in the championship battle. But this is all for Jacob. As we say, is he going to play the percentages? Will he let Dumas Horner go and just get some points? He's a racer, though. He's a hard racer. He's very competitive. So this is going to be very, very interesting. Nico's way ahead there of the pack. So
absolutely.
As all the drivers start to peel off, we're going to go back down and see where the rest of the guys are. They're all forming up to the grid now on the automated side. So let's see how we go. And now we're waiting for the lights to go off here. Tier 3 Championship in Baku, round 9 championship title on the line. And now we are away. There we go. Good start from Tomo there in 2nd. Great start from him. Nico really bogged down. Dumas Horner gets the run on Jacob Jones. That inside grippy line really seemed to work, as they seem to have swapped position. Nico got that place back. Jacob Jones battling there with O'Fatch. It's a 3-4 abreast coming through the first 2 turns. A lot of drivers have gone backwards. Connor's dropped 10 places currently, but there is a slight glitch, so we will wait for that to rectify itself.
Winky just had a bit of contact in turn 2 and down at the bottom. I can see Connor's just coming out of turn 1. He's just left, unfortunately, so possibly the same glitch.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be back. We did see in the background a driver go around. We've seen a McLaren go around a bit as well as down there. Fragile Tunnel and Winky. Few early dramas in the lap. I've got Jacob Jones battling with O'Fatch, then through the castle section. Looks like he just dipped the wall, but he seems to be okay. Going for it, no damage to any front wings there.
I've just seen Nick BT go up the inside of Luke Chard just before the castle complex. That was a brave move.
Tier 1 drivers, they know what they're doing. Jacob Jones has gone straight and he's hit the wall. That surely would have caused damage to his front wing. He had ghosted, so Thatch has actually gone straight through him there with the ghosting that we have turned on. Doesn't seem to be any damage on his front wing, but it will have shaken him a little bit, put him outside of all sorts of shape, as now he's also got Alex all over the back in the Alpha Towers. He just clipped him and Alex has gone round into the wall. Doesn't seem to have retired the car, though. That's going to scare the life out of the drivers coming through there. Red Car Rambo and the McLaren gone almost straight through him, and now it's we've lost the Red Bulls going round as he's trying to rectify it. There is a virtual safety car being deployed for that.
Dumas Hornet was down the pit straight, was just overtaking Tomo 222, and I thought he just about got it, but then under the VSC, I think he gave it back. I think he was being a bit more cautious.
We've jumped on board with Jacob Jones, who dived straight into the pits there, fanning and broke and done the same. Jacob Jones with a brand new front wing. Not the ideal start for him, obviously in his bid to become the Tier 3 champion. But now he's got those medium tyres on. He can go a lot longer into the race. He will need another stop, but those he can do 2 medium tyre stops now, take those to the end, and he'll be comfortable with that. Let's see if it gets to the end of the wall. Hopefully he hasn't got more damage again. Joyful Hell up into 10th, gone straight through all of the carnage. So Great Star, she just hit the wall. Oh, that's bad timing. Commentate the curse again. Really sorry to see that. Hopefully she didn't get damage. Hopefully she's okay to continue. She's battling through with Nick BT. Side contact. Nick nearly goes round through that. Thomas 180 back up into 8th as well. Great start, up 11 places as well from the back of the grid. As there is red car rumbles round in the castle section. As unfortunately we're going to cut away because it's not going to be painful to see him do a 100-point turn to get out of there. Really poor place to spin it. Hopefully he can get himself round and back on his way.
Yeah, just keeping an eye out at the front, obviously, with Jacob having to go into the pits there. Dumastormit just about half a second behind Tomo as we go into the pit straight for him. So he's now going to be thinking, I think we've mentioned this in Silverstone, that he's not going to see where Jacob is. He's got to run his own game. He needs to go for the win. He knows that.
Yes, a lot of the drivers do have the stream on in the background. Personally, I don't. No offence to Jacob when he does the stream, I think it would distract me a little bit. So they will know where, if he does have it on, he will know where Jacob is. However, he's just going to be focused on his own race, needs maximum points today. So he is just going to be going for this to chase down both Alpines. He has got the DRS now on Tomo down this straight. Is he going to pull out? He is. Right before the both dives back in, doesn't make a move, wasn't close enough this time round. Soft tyres will start to go off possibly next lap as Redcar makes it into the pits after we saw him have that spin in the castle section.
And Nikolak bringing out that kind of 1.7 second lead, so it takes him out of DRS zone as he goes onto the pit straight eventually.
It does. Dumastormit got a bit of a run on Tomo, but he backs out there going into that castle section. This is all helping Fatch catch back onto the end, as now he's right on the back of Dumastormit. Now, again, these drivers, they know there's a championship battle on, but they're still riding their own race around it. They're not going to give him any quarters, not let him go just because of the championship on the line. Jacob seems to be dropping down a little bit, so I'm not sure. Hopefully he hasn't had a moment himself.
Oh, he's off at turn 4. It looks like he's ran wide. I know Joyful Hell's missing a front wing, so hopefully not, because they were close together on the racetrack.
Hopefully no damage to either, apart from Joyful Hell's unfortunate, as now we've got this train. Now, Dumastormit right in the back there, now gets the wing open, is almost alongside already, as we're also on the other side. We've got Orfatch, no room for him to go just yet. As Nico puts the, now Orfatch put the fast lap in. Dumastormit makes the move into second place. And then we got Orfatch and Tomo coming almost together. Tomo's now got the inside line and is going to have another look at Dumastormit getting that place back. Not quite, but he's going to have the DRS going up the next straight out of turn 2. As Dumas Joyful Hell, she was riding really well up there into 12th at the time. As we're going back and forth, manages Tomo, he loses to Orfatch, but Dumastormit manages to keep ahead of both of those guys. That was great driving from them, very respectful. A little bit knocked, but they'll be back on now. Dumastormit sees that 3.6 second gap. He's going to be looking now. Where is Nico? Chase him down. Get rid of this. He knows how quick Fatch is. He's looking on the inside as before the castle. He's not quite close to do that. Very tight corner as well there to try and make the move. Nice drift through the castle section. Well held for him through there. Really pushing on. You can see those rear tyres now. Lap 4 starting to give up the ghost a little bit. Rear tyres do go around here very quickly. It's a very rear track with this, as you mentioned earlier, with the point and squirt. Does put a bit of pressure on the rear tyres.
Definitely. Nick BT just getting past Simba just outside of the, just after the castle complex here. But yeah, it's very kind of rear tyre heavy. And we've seen it in other races. You spin, you keep those rear tyres up. It's even more critical here.
It is. Dumastormit almost, well, it is now 1.1 seconds. Not sure where the detection point was. We'll see. He hasn't. He manages to get outside of the DRS detection point of Orfatch, so Dumastormit as well closes 6/10 of that lap onto the back of Nico Lack. Nico's going to see that going down. I mean, this is about pit window for those guys in the soft tyres. You've seen something, Gab?
Nick BT down in 9th, just coming onto the pit straight, lost his front wings, obviously had a moment there, so unfortunately for him, he started on the medium and then obviously went in on the softs, and they're going to have to come back in again.
Yeah, he did. That's going to be kicking himself for that one. He had a great start, and he has pitted now. Also keeping our eye on Jacob Jones in 13th.
So
And, go on,
sorry, Mark. Stub moving on to the hard tyre on lap 5, so he's possibly looking at being his final stop. But we know safety cars on this track, so it could well be a soft run at the end.
Yeah, could well be. He'll be thinking his lucky stars there's no rain, as we've got Nico's spun outside on the edge of the castle section. That's allowed Dumas Hornet to get through. I was so concentrating on Dumas Hornet and no factor that 0.5 second gap. Just turned and we saw the Alpine sideways in the middle of the track. I don't think he's got too much damage. He hopefully hasn't heated his tyres up as well. But now that's going to give Thatcher's brake discs glowing. It's Tomo.
It's coming out of turn 15, the infamous turn 15. That kind of sausage curb on the left-hand side. It looks like it's caught him out.
Yeah, unfortunately, just catapulted straight into the walls. Got Thatcher right up the gearbox. Dumas Hornet DRS wide open, pulled. Dumas Hornet makes him go the long way round, but gets that job done. The overspeed gets the job done before turn 1 and manages to keep it within the track and get his braking just right. But now we're going to see the battle between these two guys right at the top. Dumas Hornet now is also going to have the DRS. Maybe a bit far back along this straight to get the move done, but we'll want to keep back that gap and get him back next lap round.
Nico just obviously quite rightly jumping into the pits there, fitting the medium tyre, so he'll definitely need to come in again.
Yeah, you're quite right. These guys seem to stretch the soft tyres out at the moment, but we're looking to see them pit in the next lap or two.
There's a terrific battle going on in 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th, just turn 1 into turn 2 just now between Winky, Fanning, Stub and Jacob Jones, and Jacob's almost got the prime view seat.
He does. We're riding on board now with Fanning, who's got the lead of that one, who's got Stub making him go around the outside. There's a tight left-hander coming. Going to make him push, but Stub's slightly ahead. A little bit of contact there. Just Stub managed to keep on the wall. He does. A little bang of wheels, but nothing but a friendly kiss between the two of them. They're luckily keeping out of the wall. Again, Jacobs, as you say, he's got prime seats, but he's really, really going to be wanting to get back past this. Stub obviously just come back out in the hard compound tyres. Takes a few laps to get these up to temperatures. Now we've got Stub to get a good run out of Fanning. Makes that move out of that corner. Fanning just got a little bit squirrely. And also, Jacobs got past him as well. Jacob back into 9th. This is all he needs, just to keep a couple of points. He won't know where Dumas Hornet is. He will not see how far it is. He's just got to presume he's got the run as well on Stub. They're a little bit close, but that's a good run out of there from there's a little bit of contact potentially. He's actually let them back past. It's now Stub. Big accident. We're on board with that. Yeah. Stub hit the wall, and that's caught Fanning out, and he hit the back and is unfortunately retired. Alex has actually got a 5-second penalty for a collision with Sim, but that must have been right at the start of the safety car. So, bunch of the field. This for the medium tyre run, for the soft tyre runners, i.e. Dumas Hornet. He actually didn't box this lap, but he is going to probably box, I would imagine, this lap now. Get off those softs. Get a good set of mediums on now. A few of the drivers we can see pitting very quickly. We've got Brogan in 6th, Thomas in 5th. They're going to be looking to get.
Thomas is an interesting one, Mark, putting the soft tyres on. Just wonder whether he'd made that tyre decision just before the safety car came out and he was then locked into it. But I would think you're looking at, you could put on the hards and get to the end of the race here.
You could, but there's a risk. I know Stub was trying that. He's had to pit now for a new front wing, so he'll have to change tyres possibly to, I would say, mediums, which I don't think will go that way to the end. They'll be destroyed at the end, but Brogan's done the hard tyre strategy, trying to go to the end. As I say, it'll give you track position, but it's getting the grip out of them.
Well, this is it. I mean, I put the hard tyres on in Tier 2, and it does take a while, and there isn't much grip, and you almost are just trying to get that phase of getting them heated up and then allowing them to come into their own. But there's just that much of a performance difference between the hard and the mediums. You're almost quicker doing a medium strategy and pitting once or twice than a soft to a hard.
Yeah, very true. We're going to see out of these front runners who comes into the pits. There is a car there without a front wing, as all three of the drivers, that's Luke at the back there, had no front wing.
Oh, no fact.
So Luke's has actually hit him, which we actually saw that. Luke having no front wing had to lift quite a lot. The ability on Delta, but still a big lift, and he'll have just been caught out by that and got the 5-second penalty, but it hasn't served him yet. It was just came up too late for the game to register and serve it now. Thomas Hornet leaves. He seemed to have a bit of a delay there, so allowed Foxworth Wright to get past him. I don't know if he had damage on his front wing. I didn't see it, but he was there quite a while.
And you can already tell, like, the Foxworth were moving onto the softs. He was onto the mediums, obviously. But it's, again, we're going to have another round of pit stops still to come for those likes of Thomas, the Foxworth that are on the softs. I think the medium runners, you've got Jacob and 6 there on 5-lap-old mediums, so definitely another round of pit stops to go.
Yeah, interestingly, Jacob didn't actually decide to pit. He pitted early, of course, after his early collisions and damage on his front wings. So he decided to stay out on those. He obviously feels them really strong. They've got some heat into them. He could get another, possibly 9 laps out of them, so he's hoping to have the pace. Will maybe hopefully gain a few more positions as well, and the field just spread out a little bit more to then be able to make a stop, not lose too much time in that as well. Safety car blessing for people like Redcar Rambo is running well, and had that instant in Castle section with his 100-point turn to get out. Lost a lot of time. Carl as well had that instant early on, and he's now up into 10th on his mediums. So these guys are going to be thanking the lucky stars a little bit, but they've all watched Tier 1, Tier 2, and they've known there is the potential for this to happen. So they may have put their eggs in a little bit of that basket.
Yeah, and you almost have to take that chance. I was saying, if you do that medium run and then another pit stop, you're still going to probably be about the same time. I think if you try the hards now, towards the end, I think you're just going to be a sitting duck, because you need that traction out of the final kind of corner as you come on to that kind of tight and twisted. So turn 16 as you go through the start of sector 3 to give you enough pace down the pit straight. Otherwise, you're just going to be passed by everyone on DRS.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But again, the field's still quite spread out, so probably another lap mark under the safety car.
Yeah, I think there's only a few seconds for Winky, Fragile Tunnel, Stube, Connor 16 seconds back. Looking at it, I think Luke Shard is actually in the mix of the safety car, because he was lapped. He is. I can see him there. I'm trying to think out who he's ahead or behind. No, he's behind. I think he's behind Nico Lack.
Nico. Yeah.
So he's got Thomas behind him in the AlphaTauri and his teammate. Now he will ghost, but we do have the instance where lap cars, we did have it in one of the other races where the lap cars, even as much as the ghost, didn't move off the racing line and let the drivers pass. And especially around here, as much as it's off-putting on a general circuit with runoff, here it can be very off-putting and almost critical.
Oh, completely. And because and the thing is with this, like Monaco, like Singapore, you are so in the zone of focusing on your racing line, of where your braking markers are, and the last thing you want is to suddenly have to go offline to try and pass a lap car and then try and recover that time. I think the only bonus of this circuit, and we've seen it on a few of the races recently, is you're not going to knock out one of the distance markers, especially to the pit lane, where a lot of us rely on it for braking points, etc. So,
exactly. So we've got Connor. Looking at Connor, he's going up to the castle section now, so he's got a little bit of time to catch up. We'll see how much the game allows the driver to catch before it decides to pull the plug and disappear into the pits.
Yeah, I think hopefully we'll get safety car in this lap. And then we have a good 16 laps. And again, you're going to be looking at Thomas 180, you're going to be looking at the Fox River on those soft compound tyres. They're going to have more grip, they're going to heat up quicker. Safety car in this lap.
It is, yeah, you called it. There's definitely something to be said about this commentator's curse and saying stuff before we need to. But we're going to, Fatch now is going to take over the safety car duties. We had a bit of a catastrophe start in the Tier 2 race. So hopefully we've learnt from that. And the drivers, he'll back them up early and go within decent time. It doesn't actually pay to go too early. Obviously, the slipstream is quite big. A few of the drivers were even getting that last bit of heat in the tyres. A couple of drivers ready, waiting to go. Thatcher's going to let... Oh, it's Fox River must have tapped the back of him.
Yep.
Through the warming up phase. No damage looking at that, generally speaking, with lows. And he's going early. He's gone. Right, not long before the line, didn't give Fox River or any of the other drivers enough chance to get that slipstream. So he will retain the lead, and I would imagine it will be the same status quo. No, Nick BT's had a few. There seems to be a bit of battles further down. I'm going to stick on board here with Thatcher. We've got Fox River right behind. Dumas Hornet dropped back slightly.
Oh, we got one of the Hasses round, Winky's round out of turn 2, unfortunately.
That's disappointing. He was on the soft tyres as well, so he'll be looking to gain places from that.
Yeah, three into one doesn't always go.
It doesn't in Red Car Rambo's round. He's had a collision with his standing teammate. Yeah. I'm going to cut back and see what's happening there. Big spin for him. Quite a narrow section. How much damage has he got? Yeah, missing half a front wing. That's going to really hurt. He's going to have to box this lap. He's going to be losing time all the way around this lap, not be able to turn the car. And it's really unfortunate for him, as Luke Shard's gone straight on. Unfortunately, outbraked himself right into the castle section.
Just the castle section, just looking at some of the camera angles here, Mark, as you watch, I was just watching the Fox River go through it, and the speed, I mean, you know it when you're doing it yourself, but when you physically watch it, the speed that these guys are taking through is incredible.
Yeah, it's one of those where you just do it when you're driving yourself without thinking, because you think, yeah, that's comfortable, I can get in there. It is comfortable to do it.
Yeah.
And then you're actually on board watching them then you can see the speedo and you can see what gear they're in, and you're thinking, really, did I do that?
Yeah.
As Thomas has lost a few places there. He's gone round. Thomas went round at the very, very fast, right onto the start of the straight. He's going to have no front wing. I thought I saw Jacob jump him there as well, and actually Alex has taken advantage of Jacob and actually jumped Jacob. So Jacob gains one, loses one.
Yep.
Unfortunately, in that position, Alex now up to 5th place. I'm going to have a look and see. There's a few penalties out there at the moment. I mean, Ofat has 10-second penalties. I have to see where the first one was. I can't remember off the top of my head. Obviously, a collision with Fox River 8. Alex had one from early on, and Red Car Rambo got one for unfortunate collision with his teammate. So, I think the steward's room will be a little bit busy looking at some of these tonight. We've got Winky, Thomas, and Rambo all in the pits after their respective collisions. Red Car going on the soft tyres.
I suppose what have you got to lose? This is the thing. You can make up a bit of time there. But as you were saying about the stewards on, at least fingers crossed we don't have any outage on Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp tonight.
So we've got Alex really getting squirrely through the castle section there. Sorry to cut across him, but really nearly lost it in the castle section. That could have been very bad for him there. He just seemed to kiss the wall and really can't go squirrely. That's allowed Jacob to close back up within the DRS range. As long as he keeps it, he's now just drifted slightly back, but Gnoka trying to get the best drive possible, and he does.
Just keeping an eye on Brogan there, the first runner on those hard tyres, and he did get passed by Stube, and I think Simba was close to him, but we've got DRS now enabled, but it's going to be interesting to watch if he can slowly pull in those.
Fox River's out. Fox River has retired from the session. Didn't see where. Jacob Jones has passed him, but we didn't see the car on track. So I don't know if he's managed to go straight on down there. Didn't actually see the car. It's actually Simba and Stube having a good little battle. Don't know what happened to Fox River there. They was having a very good race as well. He'd actually just gone onto the hard tyres, actually. So something in the pits that he may have done.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just watching Winky and Thomas. They're down in 14th and 15th, just on that same point that I think Thomas had gone round earlier on. But again, a bit of close racing there.
Yeah, as we're on board with Simba and Stu. Just as this battle with Brogan on those hard tyres again, hoping to go potentially to the end if no more safety cars. This could leave him with a really good chance of a podium position if things go according to plan. So fingers crossed for him. But he'll have the tyres up to temperature now. We've had 3 laps after the safety car, and now Simba's really feeling the pressure from Stu. As we mentioned, he's going to be on redemption, managing to reserve tonight in Tier 3. He's always up for an extra race at Morgan, which is great to have as a reserve. We are crying out for more reserve drivers. If you know anybody who is a beginner, we are really looking forward to getting more drivers involved, whether you're on controller, whether you're on a wheel, doesn't matter. If you've done online before or never raced online, doesn't matter. Get involved. We've got obviously mixed abilities. We really could do with some more drivers. We'd love to have more reserves, more people stepping up into the Tier 3 Championship, and for next season, which actually starts in about 3 weeks' time, which we're really looking forward to. As now Stu with the DRS has now got past Simba down there into turn 1. Sorry, no, that's a collision. That's Simba's gone round. He may have a collision there with Nick BT, who was fighting with Brogan as well at that time. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But Simba spawning out on the in turn 1.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for him, Mark, because he was near there and thereabouts. So he's now just got to get his head down.
Yeah, as we've just seen Nick actually outbrake himself as well. So quick reverse, get himself back on track and away.
And the 2 Aston Martin boys, I think, again, given that they were at one point in this race down in 14th and 15th after a kind of slightly chaotic kind of start, up in 8th and 9th at the moment. So shout out to them. 10 laps. Mediums.
On those medium tyres, yeah, they are. I mean, they usually go about 14, 15, potentially 16. We've had a few laps under the safety car as well, so that'll have helped a little bit with the temperatures. But see how they get on. Another stop for them needed, which may come soon. But yeah, as we mentioned, obviously, we need more drivers. We're always looking forward to more drivers. Another yellow flag in Sector 1. Now, that could be some of the leaders up there.
One of the Haas's, Winky's round in turn 4. But yeah, 100% agree. I think if anybody knows anybody, then get them to join, get them to go through the trials. Whether it's Tier 3 stepping up into 2 and 1, etc. As I said, my first season, and I sat on my pad, don't need the wheel. Tried the wheel, didn't work for me. But everyone of all abilities welcome.
Yeah, certainly are. As now we've got Alex is in the pits. That promotes Jacob up into 4th place. That means on his timing screens you do see 2 people above you, 2 people behind. He knows exactly now where Dumas Hornet is. Dumas Hornet can see where he is. Jake will be happy. He knows he's in the points compositions. Dumas Hornet's heart must be sinking right now, knowing that Jacob is all he needs, that 1 point, and he's going to collect a heap load more. So, yeah. But long way to go, as we have seen in the other 2 races so far this week in MRC. And I think it happened there as Winky's retired from the session. There's a yellow flag in Sector 3. There's a safety car now. I just need to stop opening my mouth. I need to stop commentating.
Do you know
From
what
now on, we're not going to have commentators now. I don't think. The curse is just too much.
I was going to say, right, the worst place anyone could, if that accident happens kind of between that kind of turn 16, 17, 18, 19 complex, it's pretty much nailed on safety car. But this now brings in this whole thing of pit, mediums, 12 laps, race to the end. You're not going to get softs to the end.
No, you're not. So I'm keen on watching. We're on board with Nico Lack. His mediums are 7 laps old. He can easily get another set of mediums to the end. After that, the next person to really keep the eye on, actually, we're going to look at Fatch. He's diving in the pits. Thomas Hornet follows. Yep. Nico is also following suit. Next person is going to be Jacob. What's he going to do? His laps, his tyres, 11 laps old. Is he going to join them? He is sticking to the left-hand side. That's him in. Perfect time. This is really perfect for him. So,
I'm keeping an eye on Brogan. Sorry, Mark.
Yeah, well, actually, I was about to jump to that as well, actually. No, you're right. Brogan's actually dived in the pits.
He is.
Stu didn't. His medium tyres are 7 laps old. He's stayed out. Unfortunately, didn't get ahead of Dumas Hornet or Nico. Fatch had to serve one of his penalties.
Yeah. So Simba made a late dive into the pits and then decided against it. That was my little ooh.
Ooh, okay.
I thought, but he's 9 lap mediums. I think that's a mistake. I think it was a free pit stop, Mark. Why don't you take it? And just seeing Carl's gone onto the hards, and so is Fragile Tunnel, so the 2 Aston Martin boys following suit.
Yeah, maybe they didn't have any medium tyres left.
Yep.
I think they started on the mediums actually, and then went to another set. So, unfortunately, they had none left, so forced to go on that harder tyre, and I hope that nothing else will happen and it will take them to the end of the race. Nick on the soft tyres, or Fatch on softs, Alex on the softs as well. Yeah, this is a big mix now.
Yeah, I think you're almost...
tyres. I think I must... Sorry, I was going to cut you, but I think that the guys on those mediums are going to be rubbing their hands. There's 10, 11 laps left. It's perfect time for them to get those to the end with no problems. They can push on them. There is no tyre saving needed.
Yeah, and that's the key thing. I mean, if you say that the safety car's probably going to be out for at least another lap, that's going to take us into the tail end of lap 16, 17, so you've got 9 laps of pure racing speed. They just need that. They just need to keep the heat cycles in them. Fatch, yes, the first and soft runners. If he could do 9 laps, I mean, let's put it this way. In the race, we've seen probably people putting 2 or 3 laps through the soft tyre, and Alex just got a 5-second penalty there with Simba, obviously under the safety car. But you can put those 3 laps in quality, run the soft tyre 6 laps in the race. It is doable. It's going to be a bit squirrely.
I think so, yeah. I think... there's less fuel on board as well. It's easier to get the heat in them. This, could go all the way. This really could, and they could potentially get those soft tyres to the end if they keep on them. Don't put scrub off too much of the life under the safety car. We've got Brogan and a Fragile Tunnel in the pits again.
It's gone on to the mediums.
Yeah, they put a new set of used mediums on both of those guys. Now, Brogan's just put a fresh set of mediums on. I wonder if he had wing damage, if there was a bit of even under safety car.
Yeah. Done it myself, Mark. That first, when the rain started to fall in Tier 2, put the inters on, coming into that turn 15 left-hander, that I'll call the Wall of Champions for Baku. I lost the front wing there. So even under safety car, you're still pushing at a rate of knots.
Yeah, you do a little bit, trying to keep that heat in. You try to push some corners where the safety car's a bit ahead and the gap's decent. You will try to put a bit of heat into the tyres, put a bit of load into them, and unfortunately, it doesn't always work as planned. You try to get a little bit onto the dirty side of the track. There isn't the grip there. There isn't the heat there that you want, and the grip from that. So it's they're going to struggle.
Yeah, I'm just...
Oh, everyone's up together now, so we could potentially see the safety car coming in this lap.
Yeah, Luke's just coming into kind of that turn 5, turn 6 complex, so I think...
Unfortunately, it's a lap down, unfortunately. Yeah, it's not been the best times for the Mercedes man. Unlucky, he's had some pace at times, but unfortunately it hasn't paid off. If the safety car does come in, it's going to be a late call.
Yeah. I wonder if it's going to be one more lap to allow Luke to get up to the back. I mean, we're coming now to close to the DRS detection zone, and we don't have it coming in yet, so I think we're run another lap.
Yeah, will do. I think maybe Luke was just a little bit too far back around the track, so it must trigger something to say, no, they're far enough round.
So again, though, it brings the likes of Ofach, it brings the likes of Alex and Nick Beattie and those softs back into play. So we're suddenly going from 9 laps of pure racing to 8 laps of pure racing. But again, it's not easy to pass on this circuit. Yes, you've got that kind of 1.4 kilometre, and Brogan's back in the pits again.
Yeah, I'm noticing that. I was about to say, not sure what's caused that. He's now gone to soft tyres, thinking, well, you know, he's going to get into the back of the pack again. He'll only drop one place with Fragile Tunnel. Get the softs on. They'll be in the perfect heat cycle, right up to temperature by the time he gets to the back of the pack and the safety car comes in.
He's clearly he's listening to us, Mark. We must be. Literally just said those soft tyre runners are going to come back into their own. They're going to have more grip at the start, but this is not an easy track to overtake on.
As well, his medium tyres were used. There were 5-lap old mediums, so maybe he thought maybe another 10 laps on them may not get them to the end, or they may lose quite a lot of grip. And he has, you can see, he's only 3.9. He's caught right up to the back of the train very quickly. Yeah. So, yeah, his tyres are going to be in prime. And I think the safety car will probably come in this lap. We can see Luke Shard is in the pack with Brogan behind him. But unfortunately, Luke a lap down.
So we're not going to get DRS until the start of lap 20. So we've got a couple of laps where you're going to look, especially if you're Dumbest Hornet, look to close them right up. Don't go until you have to go, just before the start-finish line. Yeah,
he was right behind Ofach when the last safety car restart, and he'll have learnt from that, you know, knowing where to go, where not to go, not giving anybody like Nico Lack right behind him an absolute inch at all, as we call it right there. The safety car will be in this lap. Dumbest Hornet's done it before. He's led, he's done safety car restarts. He knows what he's doing now, getting that heat into his tyres. He will dictate that pace. He can tell when to go. I imagine he won't be going for some time just yet. He'll just get the rears up into temperature, get the fronts, get the brakes up there. Everything into prime location, ready to have that heavy braking into turn 1. He's already let the safety car get well out of sight. And he's gone early. He's gone very early. Caught Nico really napping there, as you can see. And then Stube and Fatch battling out next to them. And then we've got Jacob Jones a second back. He was caught napping a little bit. But Dumbest Hornet, very nice early getaway. Everyone else warming the tyres, and he went really early. As we've got, Fatch has spun coming out of turn 1 on his own. He didn't actually make contact with Stube, but unfortunately just seemed to lose the rear end. No real damage on the front of that. He's going to be kicking himself in great place. But that promotes Stube up into 3rd. Jacob Jones now into 4th. Stube probably will have to make another stop. It won't get those mediums to the end, but we will see as he just kisses the wall. Has a bit of understeer. Got a little bit too much speed. But that's allowed Jacob Jones to get right onto the back of him. As Jacob Jones makes a move, bang a little bit of wheels as Jacob spun. He's hit the wall. He keeps it in the right point, in the right direction. Could be wing damage though on Jacob's car. We can't see it at the moment. Jacob didn't need to make that move. I know he's a racer, as we mentioned earlier. You'll want to make that podium spot to go out on a high to win the championship. As we've just seen, I think that was Alex getting really squirrely again. We saw that earlier in the race with Jacob behind him, but Jacob now sniffing all over the back. Is he going to make a move? And he won't. He'll back out of that one. Very dangerous place to make a move if you get that just slightly wrong. And straight away these guys are caught back of Stube on his 10-lap old medium tyres that are really worn. As we're on board, Alex Neil went around the outside, and he has made that move very early on. The traction difference, unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on the battle for 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th at the moment. Carl started.
Yeah, we've got Morgan already alongside Alex going up the detection. Of course, no DRS yet, as we've got Jacob just a bit further back, keeping the slipstream to keep hold, and Alex keeps that place ahead of Stu. But this allowed Jacob, as he going to have a dive into turn 2. He thinks better of it this time round. As Morgan gone a little bit wide, that's forced Jacob to really keep the tight line on exit as well. Gets the drive out, pulls alongside all the way down the straight. And has he got the straight line speed? He has. He's now got the inside line. More grip on those fresher tyres, and that moves Jacob back into 4th place. He's now going to be hunting down Alex. He's been on the back of him a few times already this race. He's going to be smelling that podium position.
Yeah, and Thomas now up to 6. Simba's really struggling now on those 13-lap mediums. Carl's remained 7th. Waddy had taken Thomas in 6th, but just out at turn 2. And then we've got the McLaren and Nick BT just behind Simba now looking at it. But I think Simba should have probably pitted when he had the opportunity.
Yeah, one person to mention is Brogan in all of that. All the excitement near the front. He pitted. We saw him take that late pit stop. And is that Thomas gone?
Thomas out in turn 8, the castle section.
Oh, nightmare. Yellow flags.
He has reversed and he's now on his way again. But yeah, Brogan. And Luke Chard's just been disqualified for the wrong way, which is probably one of these recover from a spin, and unfortunately. Oh, and Brogan's just hit the wall at turn 14.
Oh, what a recovery he was having as well. We're going to cut down and see him how he's getting on as the damage. There is damage. He's got no end plate. That's going to really hurt him around this part as well. So it's supposed to be flat out, and he won't be able to go flat out through there. As he tries it and bounces off the other wall as well. That'll teach him for the next lap. Hopefully he won't do that again. But we've got Nick BT and Carl Eden's. Nick with such pace. He's on the soft tyres. Carl on the hards. It's going to the end. We're only 6 laps left to go. Jacob Jones now 3 seconds back from Alex. Now I don't know if he had a little moment himself or he has just backed off.
Brogan didn't need to make that lunge. Unfortunately, he was just far quicker off the corner. But that is not a corner you go and try and overtake, and it's just going to end in disaster. But actually, he didn't pit. He's staying out, Mark. Which, given the downforce he's going to be losing.
Yeah, he must feel that he's got the pace. We've got O'Fatch all over the back of him at the moment. Red Car Rambo will be catching up. Those medium tyres will be ready to go now. 4-lap olds, they'll be up to temperature. Red Car's been in the wars as well as Brogan this race. Nick BT as well in the wars. He's going to be 5 seconds back with 6 laps to go on the back of Jacob Jones. Nick knows of the championship. Everyone knows the championship going on. Fatch tried to go around the outside. It just overcooked it straight into the wall. He's got it moving again. His wing's still on, which is a blessing. But Brogan as well now is battling with Carl Edens, and now don't know if Carl had a moment. Has Carl lost his wing?
He's lost his wing, yeah.
He has. Now that must have been straight out of the castle section. That's where we cut to it. You're right, and it was ghosted on there, and he's going to be furious with himself there. He was running a very, very strong race in 6, but now we've got a change for the lead as Nico has had the DRS and makes a move well into the DRS way before the braking into turn 1. Now we've gone on board. Now we're with Dumas on it. Gets a clean exit. Gets their DRS wide open. He's a lot closer. We saw this earlier in the race. Wasn't close enough, but now he's getting the slipstream.
And Jacob spun in turn 1. He's dropped down just behind Nick BT.
He has, but he's pointing the right way. As long as he hasn't overcooked his tyres, he's going to take a little bit to calm down, to cool those down, get the grip back in them.
Yeah, I think he had enough of a gap back to Brogan. Obviously, Brogan's suffering from that wing damage. Red Car quite quickly catching him, and then O'Fatch as well. O'Fatch is just about to go on the inside.
He has, and slightly pushed Red Car wide. Red Car's just tapped the wing, and he's now got wing damage. That's going to hurt him. We've now got Stu on the back of him. He's pitted for some fresh soft tyres. The pace Morgan's going to have now, as you can see, all over the back of Red Car. But Red Car, tried to make the corner, which we all would, but unfortunately just got pushed wide by Fatch there, as Fatch has already made the move on Brogan with that wing damage. Now Stu makes a move on the outside, the superior grip and downforce that he's going to have with those soft tyres before the castle section.
So Brogan's got 7 seconds between him and Connor in 10th, so I think he'll just be hoping that he can get to the end in the points.
Yes, unfortunately we've got Thomas 12 seconds further back in 11th, as now Dumas Hornet with the DRS makes the move again. I think this may go on lap after lap towards the end, looking at the gaps with these two. But Nico got a very good exit from turn 1. Really used all of the track. As Thomas Hornigan, a little bit of a tank slapper on the way out, a little bit of oversteer, very keen on the throttle. We're on board now with Nico with the DRS open. Not close enough this lap.
Just keeping an eye on our championship leader, Jacob, and he ran us a little bit wide out of turn 16, but just taking it nicely. Just he's catching Nick's relatively quickly. Again, though, those soft tyres are going to start to slowly go off.
I'm thinking that Brogan's pitted. He's had enough of that damaged front wing now. I don't know if he's understeered a little bit too much and caused more damage. This may put him outside of the points, and it does. But he will have 4 laps of really fast tyres. It is putting him right down the order. Unfortunately, he was battling with Carl beforehand, so it may come out side by side again. But we're interested to see how much pace he's going to have in the next few laps. As we're still on board with Nico outside of DRS detection this time round.
Yeah, he almost just he'd lost a bit of time, I think, going through the castle complex. Alex, his charge is probably slowed, I think, between him and Nick BT on those softs. I think they'll just be trying to consolidate their positions.
Yeah, so I think the person to watch now is going to be Jacob. Obviously, Nick got past him after that spin from Jacob in turn 1, as you picked up on. But now he's 5 seconds further back. The gap's about level. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do. The gaps are starting to open and out now to around 4 or 5 seconds to each gap, maybe a bit more. Closest gap on the field we've got is Fragile Tunnel in 12th, really on the back of Simba.
Yeah, I think
it's together with Brogan right on the back of that as well. He's going to be on a charge after his pit stop, but and obviously he was up into 8th at the time.
Yeah, it's starting to settle down a bit. I think everyone's now looking at that end game. If it's got a bit darker, it's got a bit more overcast on the track as well. I think everyone will just be wanting to get through those final 3 laps, fully concentrated, focused. No
exactly. Sorry to cut across as Brogan got a very good exit out of, again, I don't know the corners, but it got past Fragile Tunnel early on. Fragile Tunnel seemed to have a lift through that, so sorry, I'm going to cut back, and that's he's let Carl go through. Great teammate, great working from the teammates there, the 2 Aston Martin drivers. But Brogan's gone through from there. He's up into 12th and right on the back of Simba. He's got the DRS wide open, pulls out of the slipstream. His flashing red light, he's used a lot of hers in the pursuit to catch up, but he still has the overspeed and the inside line, makes that move back up into 11th place. 4 seconds further back from Thomas in 10th. This is going to be interesting because he's on the soft tyre, he's got his fresh wing, he is going to be pushing hard. I'm going to be interested to see with the next 3 laps, see how close he can get, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's at that point again, just go for it, but in a safe manner. Don't risk anything. Use that superior grip that he's going to have.
Exactly.
And Connor's just been passed by Thomas in the castle
section.
We're
on board with that. Now, Connor's actually ghosted, so I don't know if he's had connection issues again. Unfortunately, we saw that early on in qualifying in the start of the race. Now, that does mean that the drivers in AI mode do run slower, as we can see. It was 3.9 seconds the gap to Brogan, now already 2 seconds. He is on a flyer. You'll see when he gets closer that Connor is ghosted. This could be a great comeback and a point for Brogan, which, to be fair, he has had a bit of bad luck. You know, he made a few mistakes and clipped a few wings, but it's points no less than he deserves, in my view. I think he's driven really well, as all the drivers have. We've had a few issues, unfortunately. Joyful Hell early on, Tomo early on with Fanning got caught up in an accident that I don't think really was his fault. No. Fox River, we don't actually know what happened to him, and I think Winky spun early on, and they're not their fault. The drivers really have raced very well today.
Brogan past Connor there.
Yeah, we've been riding on board. That was a nice little drift from him out there. Gets the power down. He's still only 2.8 now, further back from Thomas. Alex gets a 3-second penalty for running wide. He's actually found somewhere to run wide.
Wow.
around here.
So I was about to say, me and you were talking about that post,
Yeah.
just either post tier 2 or after tier 2. Simba's unfortunately spun in turn 2, so he's now behind Carl. But yeah, Brogan's 6 stops. I thought my 5 stops was bad enough in tier 2, but no, 6 stops. Oh, and I think Simba's round again. He is, unfortunately put too much heat in those tyres.
Yeah, need to take that easy as we go back to the leader, 1.7 seconds ahead of Nico Lack with 2 laps left to go. I think that battle now has abated a little bit. Now, the next thing to watch is Jacob Jones. He's 6.6 seconds further back from Mick BT. He's stumped that charge, but looking at O'Fatch, 2 seconds further back. We keep an eye on it this lap, because if it gets close to the DRS zone, there could be there could be an upset there with that one.
Yeah, soft against mediums. Again, I think the gap between Jacob and Nick's just kind of really been stable around about 6-7 seconds the last few laps. So Jacob knows what he's got to do. He only needs to finish 9th.
He does, but fair play to Alex, Nick BT and Fatch for 9 laps and 10 respectively on their soft tyres to make them last that long. They will be nursing them towards the end. Fatch still a little bit quicker in certain areas than Jacob, but the gap's not dropping massively as we've now on board with Nico. He has really caught up this lap. He's going to be within DRS zone come the end of the lap, and on the start finish as long as he keeps it together through the tricky part, doesn't lose too much downforce in the dirty air. As we've just seen them both of them really outbrake themselves, go a little bit wide and bang the wall. Hopefully no damage to either car, because that could be a really messy end to the race. But now Nico gets a good exit already in the slipstream through the fast left and right corners. And going on board, O'Fatch, yes, is within a second. I don't know if...
and Jacobs just went straight on at turn 15. I don't know whether he just outbraked himself.
Possibly he has got a gap to regular as we've seen. Nico Lack gets the DRS and retakes the lead. And now Brogan, nearly done us on, and he losing. Brogan as DNF.
Brogan's gone.
He was on a charge, getting his point back, and hopefully getting on the back of Thomas. That is so unlucky for him.
Yeah, Simba was the cause of the yellow flag in sector 1.
We've seen it again. Yeah, we can see him on the stream there, running backwards there, and he just as Nick has hit the wall very hard there, maybe unsighted from the spun car, but we've got a bit of a gap from Jacob. Fragile spun as well. A lot of drivers now struggling with grip at the end of the race, maybe pushing too hard than needs necessary. But we've got on board Jacob Jones. He's in 7th. He was up there in 5th. So he unfortunately had that. And now Thomas has passed Red Car Rambo and the DRS.
Yeah.
Still points for each driver here. That's a bit unfortunate for Rambo. He's had a good race. He had a few issues early on, as we say, and then got back into the points. He'll be happy, I think, with the 9th place and getting some points. Carl Eden's in 10th. He'll be over the moon with that. You know, he's had quite a few pit stops as well. Went on the hard tyres, didn't work out for him. Went on the mediums, and I think they both pitted again, the Aston Martin guys. And they'll be happy with that, I'm sure. As we're watching, coming into the final straight now on board with Nico Lack. Has driven a fantastic race. He had a great qualifying session, taking that pole position. And he hasn't had it all his own way. He's had a really, really good fight with a man now in 2nd place. Crosses the line. 1/10 separated both drivers there over the line. That DRS is a little bit powerful, but there we are. Nico Lack takes the win. Thomas Hornet did everything he could. Absolutely everything to take that win today. There's what he needed. Unfortunately, isn't enough, but we're going to cut back.
Alex just got it, but he didn't. He's now 4th because of his unserved time penalty.
He did. O'Fatch is going to have a penalty as well. Thomas Hornet in 2nd, Nick BT in 3rd. Great stand in from him from the back of the grid. Alex is there in 4th, O'Fatch in 5th, Stube in 6th, but now we're riding on board. He's already celebrating. He knows he's done it. He's there. He hasn't done it easy. He had not made it easy for himself, but he crosses the line in 7th place. Jacob Jones, ladies and gentlemen, your Tier 3 champion in the Mercedes, and you can't say he hasn't deserved it. He's been so fast, so consistent all season. Thoroughly deserved it. He is going to be going ballistic.
Yeah,
right
well
now.
deserved, and absolutely well deserved champion. And Jacob and the performances this season, similar to kind of Jay Sargent, kind of tier one, absolutely superb, thoroughly deserved. He didn't make it easy for himself in this race, but again, well deserved. And let's not kind of forget Dumbest Hornet and the great battles they've had.
They have all the way through. We've seen Nico there got a 20-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags. We'll have to look at that after the race. But continuing down the order, we can't forget the rest. Thomas 180 in 8th. We've got Red Caramba over the battle back to 9th. Carl in 10th rounds out the point scorers. Connor in 11th. Fragile Tunnel and Simba in 13th are your finishers. Can't take away though, can we? From Mr. Jones. Fantastic.
Exactly.
Absolutely super. What a race. They've really so well. They've done brilliant, all of them. Yeah, time penalty there for Nico. I'm not sure where that's come from, but we will have to have a look at that later on and see. A few time penalties there. Alex with one with 8 seconds and Ofatch with an unserved 5. Driver of the day was Nick from 18th on the grid. Stu, definitely redemption, I think, for him. But you can't take away from Dumbest Hornet. Takes the win, did everything he possibly... Well, sorry, he took second place, but with the win on game, and did everything he possibly could to hold Jacob back. And unfortunately, this time round, this season wasn't enough, and Jacob takes the championship.
Yeah, I mean, and again, though, it was a race. We said it in qualifying. It wouldn't go without drama, and it certainly had all that element of it. But again, you've got to go and say Jacob did what he needed to do. He didn't take any risks. He was a bit unfortunate and been involved in a couple of collisions, but didn't seem to impact his race. And he delivered the champion drive, which is, do you know what? You just get over the line.
Exactly right. He's done everything, but fantastic race from all the drivers out there. You know, not an easy track. You could just clip a curb, and it just throws them off. And unfortunately, we've seen that this evening. But great racing, a lot of respectful driving between them all, and it's been a fantastic, another fantastic and eventful race around Baku. Let's hope next. We said this last season. Are we going to do? What are we going to do for this week?
Well, this is it, and then we've got Canada on Wednesday next week, which will be Overtake Fest on the 3 DRS zones. So again, we're not going to have a quiet race. Let's put it that way.
No, hopefully not. It should be action packed as well. Fantastic fast circuit, a little bit technical in the middle, but we've got to look forward as well in this championship. The Constructors was very close. We got Nick up there in the McLaren getting some great points from McLaren. Alpine needed those as well, so it's closing up still. That's not finished just yet, I don't believe, in the Constructors. So let's see how that pans itself out and joins.
Exactly. It's time to take a step back and just think about looking at some of the amounts of pit stops we had as well, Mark. But yeah, what a race!
It really was. It really, really was. Absolutely fantastic. I think we're actually stuck on this screen at the moment, but that's not a problem. Okay, seeing this. So one thing we do have, ladies and gentlemen, is a little bit of a surprise for you this evening. We're going to welcome to the party before we leave you tonight to our new champion. He has just joined. Please, no swearing.
You are live on YouTube.
Yeah. How does that feel?
It feels good. Do you know what? There was a couple of times I nearly bottled that. There was a couple of times. There was one right at the end, and I just wanted to let him through. But he was like, "I'm not going to go through. This feels bad." And then I just went off to the right side and nearly put it in the wall. I
was about to say that was the thing. We cut to you at turn 15, Jacob, and I was like, he's gone there, oh no. But yeah, it wasn't the easiest of tracks to deliver that championship. Could have picked an easier track if you'd had the pot luck.
Yeah, but then what was kind of good about it as well, okay, yeah, I had a bad race, but then what made it really exciting is, well, I know Dumb Hornet was up there and he was quick all weekend, all evening. So I thought that it was quite exciting because then it had to kind of give me some focus as well. I couldn't sort of make a mistake and put it in the wall or anything like that because he was still on for the win, and he did win, actually, didn't he?
He has, yeah. He took it second on the road. I may not have seen on your timing, but he took second on the road, and then Nico had a 20-second penalty for yellow flags that came after the race, so he actually inherits the win.
There you go. So if I'd have put it in the wall, say at that turn 15, then Dummers Hornet would have the 25 points. The championship be rolling over to next week. So it was all about just keeping on track and not taking any risks at all. But well done to Dumb Hornet as well. He pushed me for all 9 races so far. It's been a really enjoyable battle with him.
It has, and we've enjoyed commentating on it. We've enjoyed watching it and taking that this championship along with you both and seeing the battle firsthand. It's been absolutely fantastic, and the consistency from both of you during most of the races as well. Both consistently scoring podiums and wins, and you just came out the blocks at the start of the season with firing on all cylinders and really took a healthy lead, didn't you? And just kind of continued that consistency since.
Absolutely, yeah. There was a point at the midway point of the season. I think Dummers Hornet had won like 2 races in 3 or 2 of the bouts or something like that. And I was like, okay, I've got to start coming to these practice sessions and stuff like that. That's putting in some of the laps. So that's kind of how I've been able to keep it so consistent. And as well, obviously, fast guys all around the league as well. They help me improve.
Yeah, quite right. That's a lovely sentiment, obviously, for Dummers Hornet as well, as you've mentioned him and all the rest of the league. That we've had a lot of stand-ins tonight as well, and you've proven yourself that obviously this is tier 3. We know as champion you'll be moving up potentially next season into the tier 2 category, and you've proven that T3 isn't exactly as dubbed originally as a beginner's, a slower league, and you've definitely proven, and a lot of the guys have proven that it's definitely not in any way, shape or form.
It's really not, no, because you've got some massively quick guys, and you see a lot of improved guys as well. So I think Dummers Hornet, for example, he joined last year, but the rate at which he's improved to now being one of our most consistent point scorers in any tier really is good, and in the same way that goes for him, it goes for some of the other guys as well. But it's going to be really interesting next year. I mean, I'll rein in my expectations massively, but it will still be good fun as well. Really competitive next year. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it certainly will. It certainly will. So what are you planning for Canada? Are you still going for it, or are we going to kind of just bring it home again?
No, I'm going for the win. All out. All out for the last one.
The champion victory.
Exactly that.
Yeah, we said that earlier, that you're always going to go for it, the racer in you, and got to do it.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
Well, look, it's been absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us after you win. You can go and celebrate, and thank you so much. Massive congratulations.
Yep.
Cheers,
well done,
guys.
sir.
Thanks, guys. I'm looking forward to watching the commentary as well. I'm going to go grab a beer.
Well deserved. Beer, champagne, it's all good. Thank you very much for joining us, Jacob. You take care. Thank you.
And yourself, guys. Bye-bye.
Cheers, Jacob.
Cheers. So thank you very much. That was Jacob Jones, our Tier 3 champion. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. It's been a fantastic race, action-packed throughout the field. Thank you, Gav.
Yes, no, thank you. Thank you, Mark, for another eventful race. And in a week's time, we'll be on the other side of the Atlantic in the Gilles Villeneuve circuit.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. Fast, technical, it's going to be great fun. These guys, I know, actually a lot of the drivers love the circuit, so it's going to be really fun. Everyone's going to be up for that. But hopefully everybody else can join us as well. Gav will be back in his native home. I do believe you're not in the Lake District next week. You'll be back home.
I'll be back in the native Scotland to the rain as usual.
Well, I hope everyone else can join us as well. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've really enjoyed it as much as we have, as much as Jacob is going to enjoy it when he watches it back. And we'll take care, everybody, and we'll see you all next week. Good night.
Okay. Night all.